So here we are, guys. We're back at Peters Hall, and this is what the bridge looks like. That is a new bridge. Looks like from Peters Hall. It looks bigger. It looks massive. For the first time, it looks closer because they started to compete. Let me bring it closer so you can see what I'm talking about. It's starting to look closer to being finished. As you can see, there are the cables. You can clearly see in this picture, this view, the cables that are attached from the tower to the platform. Those cables have already been attached to both. Actually, this is the second one, the second tower over the high span section. And you can see those cables already beginning to be visible, and the distance between the bridge platform, that is the platform from the between the two towers, that span is already beginning to close. My guess is that next time we come around here, that gap will be closed. So you'll have a complete bridge span. But this is what's happening here at Peters Hall. This is the old Demerara Harbor Bridge. It's about 6:45, 10 minutes to 7. Traffic coming towards us is coming from the west bank of the river, from the west bank. And the long line of cars is waiting to cross over to the east bank. So apparently there's just one-way traffic here on a Thursday morning, almost 7 o'clock on a Thursday morning at Peters Hall. So the new bridge, when it's open, the new bridge when it is open, as you can see, that is the span of the bridge that is passing above, that is overpassing section above the East Bank Public Road. And when this new bridge is open, as you can see, all of this traffic will be headed across the new bridge. Be interesting to see what happens with the old bridge, if people are still going to use the old bridge, or if the government is still going to keep this old Demerara Harbor Bridge open. It would seem to me it's necessary to keep this bridge open because to be able to get onto the new bridge, you'd have to drive at least 2 miles away to find the on ramp at the Heroes Highway entrance. And I guess it's time for us to revisit that entrance so we can see what they're doing with it. This is the Peters Hall. That is the Peters Hall temple. This is the famous landmark building at the Peters Hall Junction. And beyond this intersection is Republic Park and the Peters Hall Masjid. But above these buildings, you can see the bridge, towers of the bridge. Yeah, man. You can see the towers of the bridge looming over this neighborhood, Peters Hall neighborhood. You can also see at 7 a.m. workmen on the bridge. So that's the overpass section. As you can see, it has been completed up to let's see, 5 spans beyond the road, the public road. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.5 spans have been completed beyond the public road. It's really cloudy. It's been raining all week, like I said, and it's overcast every morning. That's the pattern during the rainy season. But I can see clearly now that they have not reached the riverbank, which means that my prediction is more or less correct. 2 weeks ago, I predicted it would take at least 3 weeks to reach the riverbank. And that's the... Oh, these guys wanted me to show you their fruit stands, fresh fruits. Morning. Where y'all getting the fruits from? Where y'all getting the fruits from? Where y'all bring them from? All right. Good, good. So this is, these guys wanted to be on camera, wanted to see the fruit. Want me to show you the fruits that they get from all over the country. So this is the bridge. The state of completion of the bridge on Thursday, 15th of March, 2025. 15th of May, rather, 15th of May, 2025. And this is the span, the number of spans that have to be completed between the riverbank and the current spans. About, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are at least 4 spans. 4 spans that have to be completed. 4 gaps to be filled between where the workers are now and where the bridge joins the high span section at the riverbank. But as you can see, it's now one continuous ramp for about a half of a mile away. In other words, this is a very long ramp leading up to the high span, and it's going to be 2 miles from this point to the entrance, which is why I suspect that the old Demerara Harbor Bridge was still probably going to be needed. Under the bridge now you can see the Princess Hotel, which is dwarfed by the bridge. At one point, the Princess Hotel used to be the most massive structure in this neighborhood. Now, of course, it is small compared to the bridge. The bridge now dwarfs every structure in this neighborhood, in this area. And you can see, let's see, between these buildings, you can see the high span section. We're going under the bridge now to see it from the other side. But this is the view of the bridge from Peters Hall and from the public road. So this is where construction is currently at, and the number of pillars between the high span platform and the current state of construction is about 5 spans, 5 gaps to be filled. And they've been filling these spans about one every week. So the last time I was here, I was being very generous and I thought they could do it in 3 weeks. But they had about 8 spans left. And they're actually doing it one. They're still doing doing it at one span a week. Now, this is looking under the bridge towards the east. That's what it looks like to the east. It's actually quite massive. You can see it's quite massive. And the ramp is about at least half of a mile. Right, it's about half of a mile. That's where it goes. It makes a slight turn to the right at this point. As you can see, it has to make a slight right curve before it gets to the high span section. What do you think? Do you think it will take another 3 weeks to get to the bridge? In the comments below, let me know what you think about the rate of construction, the pace at which this bridge is being completed. This is what it looks like on the underside here, Peters Hall. They have closed the gaps between these platforms. Onto the bridge is probably a restricted area, so it's interesting to see what they do with the area under the bridge in future. But that's what's up, guys. That's what's happening in this neck of the woods. We're now heading into Providence. Take a look at the bridge from the Providence section. But this is what it looks like from the Peters Hall section underneath the bridge. Tell me what you think about the construction so far on May 15th, 2025. We're halfway through the month of May. How long do you think it will take to complete the construction of the bridge here at Peters Hall? Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana. Later!